But what is open source? So open source is co-creation based on common values towards a common goal. So the community has actually a common share of values, which wants to accomplish a common single goal. And that's what creates the ties. So it's not being together. It's having the same values that you want to promote. And that's what makes a successful open source initiative. And it can be reused because you can actually use the code to adapt it to your own context. So you don't need to have one application. You can have one code base and then apply it in different contexts. So I save the trouble of reinventing the wheel, but I still can localize the application to my own context, which is very important. I think nowadays, the difference between the past and today is that I can actually localize applications to very local contexts. That was difficult before. It was expensive to do an application before. Think about this. It's very expensive to do a web application in the past. Today, it's not as expensive. So I can actually localize much more. I can go deeper locally and not so much at the state level. And so we have a model where co-creation has been going on for over 20 years in this space on open source. It's been applied to different things now, that model of collaboration. And the difference today is that we can apply open source now at the very local level. And I think that's where the challenge is. Development happens at the local level, not at the state level. Okay, the state level is very wide. When I go to a community, it's very different. They have different issues. Think about health, education, documentation, whatever. Ethnicities. It's very different from country to country and within a country. So I cannot aim to have one single application for the whole country. That's going to be complicated. That's what's happened before because it was what we could do. Today I can actually localize not only applications but also policy making. I can crowdsource needs and then have applications at the local level that address those local needs. There's not one single need. And I'll give you an example. In Brazil, we did a survey with Cisco Systems 5 years ago. Brazil is 3 countries. You have the poor north, the rich south, and then the jungle. Okay? And they all have different needs. And we told the government, you cannot have one policy. In the north, the issue on health is access to health. In the south is quality of health. It's very different issues. You cannot have the same application for that. It's very different. Today, I can do that at the very local level. I can crowdsource needs locally, and I can develop applications for that. If I have open source, then I can actually customize those applications to address those needs. So my question to all of you is, are you aware that in your countries, you actually have national development plans, that they have 10, 15 priorities? Are you working with those plans? And they usually include health, education, employment, you name it. Everything is there. Have you read those plans? Are you supporting those plans? Why is that important? Because there's going to be money behind this, public resources, which is being invested by governments to address those issues. Why don't we work with them? We are not working with them, right? I find that very interesting that we don't work with those policies. We seem to innovate on our own space, but we don't link to those spaces. Why not? There's money there. There's commitment to it. So we need to connect. That's what when I make my first comment, that's my point. We are not connected to those spaces. We seem to be ignoring them. So how can we connect the spaces? And that will make a big difference.